You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
And we do thank you for listening to America's Web Radio. And we've got our very special guest, he's part of the family, Shi Deru, and he is our master Kung Fu teacher. And we love every time he comes in, and we're going to start the show again today, just like we did last week. And I guess we'll start it every week like this because of the times that we're in right now. We need to all stop and take a slight break. We did have a couple of people that said, we need to hear something going on. We thought you were off the air. Well, we don't want anybody thinking we're off the air. But we are going to just meditate for a few minutes, and I'm going to turn that over to the master.
Okay, and actually I'm not really a master. I'm just an ordinary person like everybody else. Been doing this for 60 years, that's all. And however, I want to see everybody meditate with me, and then I'm going to talk through with everybody. And in the process, what I see, I don't want to see, how I'm going to lead you into such a deep meditation. However, each person probably go with their own pace. What I want to do is give you a general idea how I feel, and to a certain degree, so that you can feel some relaxation, some meditative energy, and some recharge of your battery. And what I see over here is how we may recharge each cell. We have 50 trillion to 100 trillion cells. According to science, we have at least 10% of that 100 trillion cells are bodiless cells. If that are bodiless cells and we charge most of it, and then that will help you to reorganize the immune system, to reorganize the body, reorganize the energy, and then any disease, any virus become history. And that's what I see. That's what exactly I have been doing for the last 60 years. It doesn't matter if it's meningitis or SARS or any other influenza, any disease. And it doesn't come to me because it doesn't come to me. It comes to me eliminated because and what I did to improve, to increase, to elevate, to harness, to balance that energy that is so vital for everybody, because I see everybody can do it. Because as I said, I'm just an ordinary person like everybody else, but we can all do extraordinary great things to get our body, get our mind in process. Thank you. Let's start and put your hands right at your lap and learn. Learn over here. Learn about yourself. At first, learn about your breath through your nose, to your throat, to your lungs, to your diaphragm, and then let the energy. Your energy is ATP and become ADP, become energy, and penetrate, permeate into your organs, into your lungs, especially lungs right now. You need so much the capacity in your lungs to get your lungs so strong, and then you can really do a lot of things. And then your body begin to, when you get everybody coordinated, harnessed, everybody so harmonized together, and then you will see what happens. The production of chemicals, those are not only just biological chemicals, it's natural chemicals from your own body. It's not outside chemicals. It doesn't have side effect because you produce it yourself. I call quantum conscious communication, quantum conscious production by your brain, by your cells, and your neuron transmission, your neuron connection, your neuron and interaction will be more efficient. Let's start. Take a deeper breath. Listen to your breath come in. through your nose, of your tips, into the nostrils and all the way to your lungs. Penetrate and permeate into the diaphragm below the lungs. Your breath be natural but slightly longer. We may pay a complete attention to our breath. Listen and feel the breath slowly come in through the nostrils all the way to the lung. As you breathe deeply and calmly, you will see with your third eye, not your sensories alone, but your third eye, besides your naked eye, internally, see the energy penetration into the areas that is tense, that is stressed, that produced the anxiety, that has produced the tension. But without force, please just naturally breathe and listen and observe without any control, without any strife. Just let it go. Let your breath be natural. Let your breath be calm. Let your mind be serene. Let your body be listening with a complete attention. You see your brain, your cortex relaxed. You see the channels of your body, of your spinal cord, begin to relax. You see your shoulders, your hips, your neck relaxed. Just observe, just watch. Without a control, without force, without any endeavor. Be natural. Slowly you can get deeper and deeper into that conscious empty space. Okay, good. Thank you. And I hope everybody gets something and from the process. It's enjoy every minute of it. Enjoy every second of it. Enjoy every fraction of a second of it. That is the key. Sort of like you play a piano, you play a violin, you play any music. You listen to the tone, you play the tempo, and you get all these C's or A's, or all these different tones, and just together. I'm not really familiar with music, but I enjoy and every bit of music, like a Mozart, like any music, and I enjoy the classics, even the modern music. Listen to it, and with the calmness, with the peace. All this is about our music. It's a meditative music. That's what it is. Do you enjoy it, Dave?
Absolutely. No question. And since you started the show here, I've gotten into it and find myself meditating many times during the day and just relaxing. Beautiful. and
Beautiful.
Taking the day for what it is instead of trying to force my way through it, just relaxing my way through it. And
anything, your life, your business, your financial business, your health, your relationship, and anything you do, interact with people, it's with the flow. What I say with the flow is natural. Just like we say, as Christians, we all trust God. But a lot of people don't trust God. They say they trust God, but they don't, because they force everything into it. They put a control onto themselves without trusting the universe, without trusting God. They push everything. When they push everything, and there's a conflict, because there's a conflict. When there's a conflict, there's a division, and there's a war. Either internal division or outside division. That's not naturally flow. So when you naturally flow, you flow with the water, flow with the nature, and everything. It is beautiful. And financially, emotionally, relationship, anything. When you flow, and you find the beauty. When you flow, you find everything is so easy. When you flow, you feel, wow, that openness, the energy, the openness of the happiness, your openness of that joy, and you enjoy every bit of it. But a lot of us so bombarded by signals, disastrous signals, panic signals, divisional signals, and conflict signals, chaotic signals. We're bombarded by those, and then we forgot about the inner peace, about our inner selves, about the inner energy, about the inner intelligence. That inner intelligence is provided by the universe, is provided by God, is provided by the supreme intelligence. But sometimes we say we do, we trust, but we don't. Our action speaks. Over here about the inner moment. Being in a moment in meditation is about that communication. It's about the reorganization. It's about that with the flow. It's about a reconnection to the supreme universe.
That's beautiful. We're gonna We're gonna let people think about it for a minute and take a break, and we'll be back with Shi Deru right after this.
Want to give your family or loved one the perfect gift? Then go online and check out the TornadoBodyDryer.com. I love mine and the warm heat air massage it gives me after my shower. The Tornado Body Dryer is super. You'll love it, and you'll love having one in your shower.
If your health insurance premium is more than your mortgage, Ellen Deal with Ideal Solutions is here to help. Whether you're a small business owner, individual, family, or baby boomer, email MAGA45CAG@gmail.com and I'll respond with 3 easy questions to help you determine if you can get away from Obamacare. As a 20-year veteran of the insurance industry, I'm here to help with all your insurance needs. Email Ellen Deal at MAGA45CAG@gmail.com.
My name is Kyle Hayes, a motorsports student at Alfred State College. Every year, Alfred State students compete in the Great Race, which is a cross-country time endurance rally for vintage vehicles. As you can imagine, it's pretty costly. I'm asking for your help. Your donation can make it possible for these students to live their passion and promote the vintage automobile industry. Please visit our site at give.alfredstate.edu and search Great Race to learn more and help us reach our goal. Thank you.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
Okay, good. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, it's about everything's about enjoy yourself, to look into yourself and to see that inner being. That is what I'm here for. And I hope I'm not going to force any words or any opinions, any judgments, or anything what I see unto you. However, and I want to share what I have discovered, what I have experienced, and what I have seen for the last 60 years, research, 60 years, personal experience, and from China as an orphan, and become the coach, and became the head coach of the United States and the martial arts team, and become the Pan American chairman, and share with other people, and become a speaker for Harvard, become a speaker for UC Berkeley, and become a speaker for Beijing University, become the speaker for hundreds of universities. And I think I may have something and we have in common as a human being, and I can share with everybody, and to see if we all can come from inner being instead of looking outside. Doesn't matter happiness, doesn't matter health, doesn't matter consciousness, doesn't matter immune system, doesn't matter energy, doesn't matter anything. That regard to our health, regard to our life, regard to the relationship between people, regard to our relationship with the universe, regard to the relationship with nature. And then we can do a lot of things for ourselves. Each of us is that a society, each of us is that a humanity. If we do well, if each of us does well, and the universe will be changing with dramatic ways. That's what I see. And I am glad Dave brought me here, and then we can share together and live together, and then discuss together, have dialogue together. And I would love to listen to everybody else, and what do you see, what do you feel, and then we interact with each other, and that'll be great.
We always welcome comments, and you can send your questions to me or to Shi, shi@americaswebradio.com, or to me, David at americaswebradio.com. Either way, she will get them and address them in a coming show. And,
yeah, absolutely. And of course, you can see me also on Shi Deru. The name SHIDERU is everywhere around the world, and probably at least probably 20 to 50 million people have heard such name or have seen such name, and it's just like everybody else, and everybody has a name. It's just a label. However, I believe I'm connected with everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. And a lot of people say, and when I give a speech, they say, "Well, you're too high." No, I'm not high. I'm very short. I'm like 5'6", and not even 5'6". I'm begin to shrink. So, and then is in terms of level of consciousness, and I don't think so. We all have that high level of consciousness. Just how we use our light to unveil that consciousness, to unveil that intelligence, and to see our own potential. Sometimes we have such a beautiful potential. We just covered by all kinds of smog, all kinds of spams, all kinds of virus, and get us. But how can we improve our immune system? How can we provide some clarity? How can we, internally and inwardly, and observe ourselves and give ourselves some credits, give ourselves some shining point, so we can shine out from within, and not just looking outside, because outside full of all kinds of signals, all kinds of crazy things, all kinds of bombasted information, and especially in this age, and people are so infected with media, the media, especially social media, what kind of media, and people got into it, just never get out. Some people even got themselves killed because of those social media. And then they watch this cell phone, and everywhere they go. And sometimes we have to really stop. I think this is a beautiful time for us. Why is this a beautiful time? Because you can see each side of the story. Yeah, it is a pandemic. It is a crisis of COVID-19. But in the meantime, it's to stop us to do anything that is really, really, and hinders and stop us to look inwardly and give us a chance to look into ourselves, give a chance to look ourselves, how we treat nature, how we treat ourselves, how we treat each other, how we treat the God, how we treat the consciousness, how we treat that very basic being, that being as a human. So we need to see that. And so when we come down see that, and we see a lot of different ourselves, different in each other, different in that self, sometimes we probably have to let that self go, because we focus so much on the physical being, on the appearance, and we forgot about the internal being. We forgot about the potentiality of ourselves. We forgot about the connection, that connection with the universe, the connection that God projects of us all, and that supreme intelligence, that original point, that original intelligence, that original fountain of intelligence. So we need to re-see that, reconnect ourselves. And I think it's a beautiful time for that. What do you see, Dave?
I think it's like anything that we come up against. There's always a good side, there's always a reason, and we should come out of it, like you said, better and on the other side of it. And
yeah, that's precise.
It.
Yes, that's precise. Every time I have challenges, and then I see it's an opportunity. Why? Because within the challenge, if you don't see these opportunities, and you're going down. But when you, within that challenges, within those crises, and if you see the opportunity, and you go above it, and you go beyond, and you become stronger, and you see, and you become, you fly up above. Give yourself another win, another ability to rise above and become more capable, more enabled. And it can be a beautiful thing, And you think about it, and people say, "Oh, you don't understand my problem." Yes, you're right. I do not understand your problem, but everybody has problems. Everybody has crises. Everybody has sufferings. Everybody has pains. And when I was a kid, you think about it, you never had parents who can raise you. You're by yourself. 3 years old on the street, 4 years old on the street, 5 years on the street, and like a 5 years old, I got my first job when I was 5 years old. It is an easy job. I had to stay for 12 hours a day on the mountain, live with different animals, and had 9 goats to put over there, and 12 hours a day. What I eat grass, I eat mud, I eat clay, anything I get into my hand, I eat. You know, those things you probably never experienced. But when I experience that, you know, I see nothing is difficult. If I can live through that, nothing is difficult. When I eat snake, when I eat, you know, roaches, when I eat, you know, monkeys, I think nothing it is that tough anymore. Because if you can go through those things, and people say, oh, I don't even have food to eat. No, you don't. You never experience what is down as somebody else, but you only see from your point of view. But I see from my point of view. So forget about that point of view. We all have some sufferings. How can we all, everybody, rise above that problem? And then you see the solutions. You see the flow. You see each block. There's an outlet, you know. And just like a modern quantum physics said clearly, the possibilities, the probabilities, because you're into that cage, you're into that cube, you don't see any outlet. But if you see above that cave, if you see above that cubes, if you see above that the blocks, you will see clearly, you know, there's no blocks. There's so many entrances, so many outlets, so many solutions. Behind each problem, there is a solution. Absolutely. So it is your eye, your inner eye. How can you rise above that three-dimensional world to see? Not only with your naked eye, but your mind. That mind is with clarity. That mind rise above. That mind with high transmission. The mind with a little bit higher consciousness. The mind is connected with the universe, with God, so to speak. That's what I see. And if you see that, and you treat the life will be different. You treat the relationship different. Instead of blame on everybody else, instead of blame on society, instead of blame to other side of the aisle, and you see from internal being, if each of us rise above, and each of us rise above, the society is going to rise above. The humanity is going to be totally different. Change is going to be from within, not without. That's what I see.
With that, Shi, we'll take a break and let everybody think about what you just said. And as always, it's a beautiful statement that you make, and we're very fortunate that she's here, and you can go back and listen to these programs, because I did that because I missed some of the things that you say, or I'm listening to what you're saying, and sometimes I miss what you're saying because I'm thinking about what you just said. And so we're very fortunate that they're all archived, and she has his own page, and go back and listen to it, and stay tuned for more on America's Web Radio. We're in crazy times, aren't we? But I think there's a reason for everything. Do you think the virus is man-made or not man-made?
This is, I'm not going to get into that. It doesn't matter what. It's a human being. Really, it doesn't matter what. It's a lot of human beings involved. And we interact with the nature, not in a nice way. We disturb the nature balance. We did a lot of things with the nature. and that we thought we are the invisible one, and we can take a hit. We take a hit. What I see is a human being. It doesn't matter which country, and it doesn't matter which culture, and we need to stop ourselves and to see this humanity is interconnected. This humanity is interconnected with the nature. This humanity is connected with the other living beings. We need to respect each other. We need to respect nature.
And we're coming back.
Okay, this is what I see. Okay, for this coronavirus and COVID-19, and I think it's good for us to stop. What do we do? Stop old thinking, stop old strife, stop old competition, stop old conflicts, stop that search, that struggle, that division, and to see that interconnection, to see the nature, to see other living beings, and they are conscious beings. We need to stop thinking, but respect other people, respect other nature, living beings, respect all living beings. And then there's an equilibrium, there's an equality of the nature, there's a ecosystem we need to respect. So how can we live harmoniously with other nature, living beings, with other animals, with other conscious beings, not only with other nations? And because if we do that, we respect everybody, we respect ourselves. Because when we against anybody else, and we make everybody else against us, and because if we fight tigers, and tigers will fight back. If we fight back, the bad will fight back. If we do fight monkeys, monkeys will fight back. That's just reality. And that's why when I was young, I proved to live with the animals. I was 5 years old. I lived with all kinds of animals in the mountain because I have to watch the 9 goats and to survive and get familiar with other animals, and then learn from other animals. Everybody knows that Kung Fu has tiger form, monkey form, and the leopard form, and the dragon form, all kinds of forms. The forms is to express other animals, how they move, how the snake move, how the crane move, how the tiger move, and then to understand others, to understand ourselves, because we are alive, because the relationship, we cannot forget about the relationship, just selfishly, me, because that me is not going to survive without anybody else, because the life is a relationship. Nobody lives in a vacuum by yourself, because everything is interconnected. Everything is vastly intermingled together. So if we see that, we do things a little bit more differently than today. And I think this is a time we need to rethink. This is a time we need to observe inside ourselves, internally, instead of just grab some money. What is the money for? Money is a tool. But sometimes we worship the money. And that is the sad news. We worship tools. We worship materials. We worship anything, the appearance. Those things end results. They not a potential. They're the end results of the expression. When we worship those, and we observe, we worship the end of life. But God is invisible. Universal consciousness is invisible. The supreme consciousness is invisible. But we don't see. Why we don't see? Because we never come down. We never get into that serenity. We never get into the internal being. Because anything we do, if we want to connect, has to be from the internal channel, not from the outside experience. Outside is very, very shallow, very, very short distance. That vision is very, very limited. If we go from the internal being, and we see the vast universe, we see the vast consciousness, we see our energy begin to rise above, and that experience can be so beautiful. It's limitless, it's infinite. It is not what our outside vision, our next eye, can grasp. That's what I see. And how can we get into that? It's through meditation. That is the meditation. And I meditate, and this morning I meditated probably about 3 hours, and sometimes 1 hour. But I don't want to see how many hours you do, but you do consistently, persistently, and you will see different of yourself, and you don't have to get into that panic and anxiety, that panic feeling, the panic, body, the mind. You don't have to get into that self-inflicted thoughts, self-inflicted mindset, and that brain and full of chaos, that brain full of divisions. You can transmit something that is really beneficial not only to you but to the universe, and with more clarity, with more balance, with more intelligence. And that's what I see. And I want to see everybody maybe just sit for a second, just quiet for a minute, and then you will see a different view. If you can take a deeper breath, just listen to yourself. Feel that breath. Listen to the body being here at the moment. Conscious now. When you are in the moment, when you are present with your mind, with your body, with your soul, you pay 100% attention. You rise above that selfish self. You rise above that bodily self. You rise above that appearance of yourself. You rise above that physical self. And you see that interconnected self with the universe, that interconnected self with God, the interconnected self with a pure consciousness. As scientists probably have discovered for the last 200 years, and we only operate with less than 5% of consciousness a day. 95% we operate by the automatic pilot. We operate by subconsciousness. If we just sit down, if we just walk slowly, if we just stand there, if we just do something, stop for a second to operate a little more consciousness, with a little bit more serenity, with a little bit more calmness, with a little bit more internal being, and ourselves, and you see totally different self. You will see totally happier self, healthier self, not only bodily, but a mind, psychological self, and can be beautiful. And people say, "Oh, I cannot do it. I'm too busy." Yes, everybody too busy to die. But why we do not have a full minute to live? live at the present time. Just live. To be aware, to see yourself at the moment. Sometimes just aware of your presence, your relationship with the nature, your relationship with the office, your relationship with your surroundings, without judgment, without control, without management, without any forced opinions or judgments, without depending on something on another. Just observe yourself. You become a totally different person. And it can be really, really healthy in your body and in your mind, in your psychological being, and in your mental being. And I think that's one of the reasons Dave wanted me to come here and to share with everybody what I have seen, what I have discovered, and I hope everybody can benefit from it. Just that a sparkle of light can lit up your own light. Your light can continue in your life and shine to your life, and you can see that beautiful self beyond that physical being, beyond that selfish being, beyond that bodily being. That's what I see. David smiled.
Well, Shi, it's every week that, and we have a few minutes left, but in fact we have about not quite 20 minutes, but what you bring to our audience, and we're going to get more and more people listening, and what you bring is relief and release. And relief comes from release, and releasing ourselves from the stress, releasing ourselves from our mind thinking about negatives all the time, to just clearing your mind. And I think your message today, one thing that you said, shine from the inside out, and I like that. That's we should all shine, and you can shine by helping your neighbor, helping somebody else. And I thank you for doing this show. As we go on, I think you will affect many, many, many lives, and people will start passing it on that you got to listen at 11 o'clock on Fridays to America's Web Radio. There's a gentleman on that can change your life.
I see each person can change that self. Each person can change the life for the better. And I always tell myself, I tell my students, my mission here is to use my light to shine myself, to use my light to unveil that internal intelligence within, to rediscover my potentiality, to let the light shining from inside, that explosion from inside. When an egg exploded, a chicken comes out. That's just reality. When you're shining from inside, that shining will explode out, and then new life comes out, a new birth comes out, and that inside shining, and that shining also will sparkle to other life, and the other life will shining from inside, and then will spark another life. That's what I see, and that domino effect will transmit into the universe. And then we will connect with that signals with the universe, with the God, and because that's what God's original intention, the original connection, instead of clustered by spams, instead of clustered by all these smokes, instead of clustered by all these pollutions and all this virus. And then I think it is when you come down to the abyss, and you're going to see it's time to rise above. It's time to rest, to wake up. It's a time to reactivate the life. The life can be really, really resilient. The life can be really, really and strong. The life can be really, really, and shine and into the universe, give beautiful signals, give to God, give to the original consciousness. I am part of that. I am of that. And then that life is transformed. That life is transcend to the different level, and then can be very, very beautiful. And everybody can have that. Everybody can have that happiness. Everybody can have that health. Everybody can have that intelligence. But we need to see from within. My job over here, we started with a pandemic. I started with China. I want to help the Chinese because I was born in China, because this is my home for the last 35 years. And then I want to see if I can help people over here. We started with GoFundMe and try to see if we can help the hospitals, because these doctors really, really shining. They help other people. Sometimes they get stressed, and I hope all the doctors or the nurses can hear my stories, can hear what I says, because I was a doctor in China, and then I got into the medical and studies over here in the United States. And because I have such a relationship with them, I have such an internal relationship, also have an external relationship, because I spoke to many medical communities. I see what they see, I see what they struggles, and try to help others, but themselves are struggling. Because when I was spoken to Harvard University, I saw a lot of doctors smoke. I say, ask them how many people know how to breathe. There's only a guy say, well, I did meditation. The Japanese meditation, came from China. I say, wow, we have so many, 75 doctors, only one person know how to breathe. This is from Harvard University. So what I see is we are not good at this, we are not good with that, just sometimes we are lack of information. We devoted so much on books. We devoted so much on appearance. We devoted so much on drugs, on medical equipment, on chemicals. But we forgot our internal healing. We forgot our internal being. But fortunately, and for the last 20 years, and Harvard has changed. Because the last time I spoke 2 years ago, I went to Harvard, a lot of people eagerly to tell me, say, you need to come to Harvard offering, we need you. And then I begin to see more people begin to realize that what I said 20, 30 years ago become more prevalent over here in the United States. It doesn't matter Yale University or Harvard University or UC Berkeley or any university, they become more aware of it. And Harvard University last time, and a few friends told me they begin to get different clubs, like a Taiji, for example. I taught Taiji for the last 50 years. And they begin to get Taiji clubs at Harvard. They begin to get Taiji things. They begin to get meditation clubs. Harvard, they begin to use Taiji and meditation and yoga to treat disease, to treat patients. They call Taiji the moving meditation and moving medication. They begin to realize the mind-body interaction is so effective, so much better than drugs, which has no side effects. And then more and more people begin to realize that. And I think that it is a beautiful thing. And mind-body medicine is all become more prevalent. Integrative medicine become more prevalent in the United States. When I was seeing cancer patients in New York City about a few months ago, I began to see meditation, offered over here at cancer center. I said, wow. And I see meditation offered a lot of places and in medical communities, Reiki and Taiji, and offered in a lot of medical communities, a lot of medical centers. I think more and more people begin to discover that. And this is what I promoted 40 years ago. People thought I was crazy. But today they don't see that anymore. And they don't see I was crazy anymore. Of course, slowly some people still saw I was crazy. But more and more people begin to realize, and what I said 40 years ago, and it's more available. It's more matched to the reality they begin to face. They begin to see. And I think it's not what I see in the advanced people, because I connected it. This is already there. It's already in the universe. It's only because I meditated, because only I opened the third eye, because only I have been, see that, have been meditate on that for a little bit longer, a little bit more, a little bit earlier than most people. That's all. And what I see, if everybody can see that, then they can see different themselves, different each self, then they can elevate themselves. They can really, really unveil that internal wisdom. Another thing is that consistency. And as we discovered, and many universities, including Yale University, Harvard University, and we see a lot of people become healthier, happier, and more relationship because of that inner being, because that it is that inner connection. When people really look for outside, some people told me, I have, a beautiful wife. I even have, a few houses, and then I had a girlfriend before. And this is some people told me from Yale University, but I was not happy. Why I was not happy? Because I was looking outside. I'm looking for girl relationship. I want to see more than my one girl alone. I want to see how many people I can hit, and how many houses I can get, how much money I can make. But I was end up miserable. That's why they talk to me. They feel, I hate the home of that person, because that person had so much money, but I'm miserable. So why? And it is the internal being, not just the external being. We need to balance that. And when the internal being is more connected, when the internal being has the calmness, and we see differently, and when internal being generated that health, generated happiness, we don't look outside for it, and it's always there. So that's what I see, and I had a GoFundMe, and I want to help the doctors, the Shi Deru GoFundMe. You can see that Shaolin Chen Foundation GoFundMe. You can also, do something to help the doctors, and I want to see, and I plan to do a lot of mini-series of these talks, mini-series of this meditation, mini-series of the Zen Taigong I devised for the last 30-40 years. And then I want to see, and people get access to it. And a lot of them will be non-profit, and it will be available for everybody. Of course, they are going to be some of the profit side to support the community, and then I will get a lot of books out, a lot of mini series out to everybody, and then I want to see people from all over the world have that access. And we also have online teachings, and maybe we connect with the radio stations, with China, and then it's going to be a beautiful things we're going to establish. And there are a lot of thousands of people, forward thinkers, scientists, a lot of people involved. And I hope and we start a new millennium with a healthy body and a healthy mind and a happy life, and from an internal being. That's what I see.
She would like to just add a thought to what you've just said, is that what you're talking about, and by the way, there's a doctor that's on Fox and Friends, Dr. Nicole Sapphire, I believe is her name, and she's just written a book, Make America Healthy Again, and she's talking about eating right and taking care of our bodies, and I don't know if she has a chapter or anything on meditation, but I'm going to contact her and send her this particular show today. But we have over the years, and I guess it's the United States and the people here, we have become a reactive instead of an active society. And if we're active in taking care of ourselves, just like you're saying, build an immune system is an active thing. It's not a reactive thing. You don't build it after the fact. You don't put a fire extinguisher in the house after the fires burn the house down. You put it in before. And I think this is where America needs to change its feelings and philosophy and become active.
Absolutely.
And then we won't have to worry about anything bothering us, be it man-made or not man-made. We can take care of it.
Yeah, that's what I see. It's and activate your life, which I say activate the life. It means when your life is always activated, you always take things initiative. We take it in that initiative to maintain the life, maintain that health, maintain that intelligence, maintain that the process of always unveil that intelligence, and maintain your immune system, and maintain that consciousness, maintain the level of energy, and that energy always committed, and that the energy always transmitted that information with the universe, and then you don't have to worry about this, because you don't have to worry about what you do in a disastrous situation, because it is we are out of touch. We're out of our mind. We're out of our consciousness. We're out of our energy, that intelligence. That's why we do disastrous things to other beings, to other animals, to other things. And then because we look for internal and less, and we look for external so much, and we forgot ourselves. And we forgot even our lives. We do so much to do nothing but self-destruction. We build warheads, we build chemicals, we build all kinds of things for that self-destruction, instead of looking inwardly to unite, to look inwardly to communicate, to look inwardly as a human being. Doesn't matter where you live. The little tiny earth is so tiny, like a dust, a piece of tiny dust from the universe, from the galaxy, from beyond the galaxy. You don't even see the earth. But we thought ourselves so big. We're the only person in town, and we become crazier than we are. And then because we're out of ourselves, and then we need to return to that inner being. We need to return to that origin. We need to return to that flow of energy. We need to return to that inner connection with God. We need in turn return to that supreme consciousness with that connection and communication.
Shi, another wonderful show, and I look forward to next Friday and being with you and getting your message and how we can improve ourselves. And it all starts from within, just like you said.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, this is Steve Ronaldo, host of the Classic Car Show on America's Web Radio. Just talking to you about antique car insurance. I think that if you're looking for the best coverage for your classic car, consider J.C. Taylor Insurance. They've been my insurer for years in this hobby and have the top rating of all of the insurance companies in the hobby. When you get ready for insurance, call J.C. Taylor or visit jctaylor.com on the internet.
The disease of addiction is a life-altering challenge.